Welcome back to the Amped 2 Own the Mountain guide one final time. This is the final main level, Laax full. After this, we'll have found all the snowmen, completed all the gaps, unlocked all of the Own the Mountain videos for viewing as part of your gallery. So for snowmen, we're starting on Plan, and we will collect what we can in one rundown. And also, Laax has the third of the Stomped It Landings challenge, and it has the hardest one. You need to get 5 Stomped It Landings in one run. But as you see, again, starting high up on the mountain and then going for some rodeos or corkscrews off of some smaller elevation changes, like leading up to the half pipe and down through the half pipe, are an easier way to get ahead on getting some Stomped It Landings before you get too far down. We've seen a few snowmen as well, one in the half pipe and then one after it on the side of a long railing that you go to grind. The third one will be up on this house, grind the fallen tree limb up to it, and then hit grind again to grind the very top of the house. And you can work on some more Stomped It Landings on the way down. The right path of kind of lower Laax is pretty good for being able to get some more. I kind of got a unlucky little spurt there, but with enough trial and error, I'm able to get it, and you can see me actually getting 5 in one run. So we're continuing down even further, and to the final 2 houses before the end of the mountain, there will be a snowman on top of the second house. My recommendation is to get on the first house and then jump and do kind of a failed stall over, or I guess you can grind the side of the second house and leap over at the snowman. But yeah, that one's quite a ways down, unlike the others, which are pretty close to the top of the run. You'll see that you'll need several different runs for the snowmen, since to us mortals, they're kind of scattered next to each other near the top of the runs and not able to easily be collected in one run. However, I know I've advertised KTWO's 100% speed run on Speed Demos Archive. It's been a big help for the speed run, and I have to advertise it again since he actually collected all snowmen and gaps on this level in one run down the mountain. He showed that actually you could do that. It's crazy. I'd recommend everybody head over and watch that segment and see what he did. And all of this work on all these gaps definitely gives me an even better appreciation to the work he had to put in, since these gaps can be so finicky sometimes that you need the exact right speed and such to get them. So continuing on our snowman escapade, we go to Kernius and go to the left path, and where you see a gap that jumps across 2 kind of thinner ramps, there's a snowman on a rail that's on the right side ramp. After a little bit of helicoptering, we can get him, but then, as you see, kind of now it's usually get one snowman and then ride to the bottom. So we've gotten the snowmen on Plan and on Kernius, and now we're headed up to the very top, Cra Saugnon. I don't know how to say this. Hopefully, if someone could, let me know, that'd be great. But starting from the very top, we go to the main kind of ski line gondola building where one of the snowmen is chilling out in there. And then once again, it's down to the bottom. So then the final snowman will actually be on that building, on the run that you have to take for the Photoshoot 3 Pro 2. It's not much easier getting up here than it's been in the past. As I've mentioned, kind of even now, if I had to modify the design of any place, it would be this run. The developers were way too in love with getting you up here. But the final snowman is kind of on the back of that building. You saw how to get him there, and so that's all 8 snowmen on Laax full, and we'll go to gaps next. So for gaps, we'll start back at Plan, just starting at the first drop point, and there's also a gap that's very close to the start here. You'll see this gap that at least I seem to take, every time, most of the time when I get to Laax and are doing my score run. But after that, we're gonna go over to the right side of the half pipe and make our way over to the right side of the level in this same run. There is another gap using kind of the park area on the very right side to jump between one ramp and the back side of another. So we're collecting 2 gaps in that run, again combining a bit as shown by KTWO. And again, I gotta mention, he was able to combine everything in one run. Really crazy that he could. And then heading to Kernius next, and we'll ride over to the buildings and then ride through them over to kind of the patio where this gap is. And as you see, like some of the others in the game, you don't actually need to jump off the kicker. You can just jump off the flat ground next to the kicker, and as long as you're close enough to it and you land in the right spot, you'll get the gap, and it's honestly easier to do it that way than try and go off of the ramp and get in the right location. So then back to Kernius, we're going to go to the left side of the mountain now, and there's 2 gaps sort of in a row. The first one is on the left side of the path. You'll jump and you'll want to interact with this landing rail in some way, again, grind or failed stall. And then if you want to get both these gaps quickly, hop off that rail and quickly set yourself up for the next gap, where again, maybe it intends you to land on the rail where the snowman was, but you can land on the backside of the ramp next to it and be fine. So yeah, that's the snowmen and the gaps, and that's the final Own the Mountain challenge. You get to see a bit more snow skating footage if you want, and that is the end of the Own the Mountain guide. We've gone through every level, found every snowman, completed every gap. I want to give one more big thank you to KTWO for first documenting where these snowmen and gaps were. I really just took the effort he had done for his run and condensed it down further with specific videos for each level and tied it into some of the other footage that I've been doing for this game. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you've seen every part, hopefully I was able to help you. Please leave any feedback in the comments. I appreciate everything that you guys say on these videos. And once again, thank you so much for watching.